Hello, everyone, and welcome to the pilot episode of The Right Swipe.
The Right Swipe, everyone. We've started now.
I
Here
am
we
so
go.
excited.
Me
I
too.
have never been more excited for a personal project of my own.
I
And
agree.
I've had this idea for a while now.
I mean, it's a brilliant idea.
So what it was I remember my friend in college, he had a similar idea where he'd bring people on.
Yeah.
And I asked him, like, hey, can I use this?
Yeah.
Because I think this would be really cool. And he's like, yeah, man, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool. So
Yeah.
just a couple introductions. My name is Curtis Joseph. I will be here all the time, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
I definitely am very passionate about this. I'm super excited. I am joined today by the lovely Olivia Bauer Nelson.
Yes. And I will be your co-host for most of the time. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
have some other, guest hosts to come in sometimes once we
Well, I
get
know
into
you
it.
actually have a pretty busy schedule. Like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you got a lot going on. You just got into master's school. Congrats.
Yes, I did. I'm starting my master's this summer, which is really exciting, doing some research with spiders, which
So-
is always fun.
So on days Olivia can't be here, you'll probably hear someone else's voice. And either way, we're going to have a good time no matter
Yeah.
what.
Always.
We're also joined by our producer, Josh Dean, also my boss.
Hello. I'm watching and listening always.
I would think I'd be able to avoid him every now and then, but turns out I can't.
No. And while we're at that, we got to put a shout out to Kat Skeller
Yeah,
for bringing us all together, you know?
So to kind of tell everyone how we all got together was 3 years ago. I started a job at a bar called Kat Skeller. It's on UC's campus, University of Cincinnati. That is not University of California.
Yeah, nope.
We are based out of Cincinnati,
Midwest. Whoop, represent.
Ohio. And
Oh,
oh my God, there are so many people who would get so annoyed by saying "ope" all the time.
oh.
But we all kind of know each other through there. Josh is my boss. Olivia is one of the regulars at the bar.
Yep.
She comes in quite frequently. We hang out. We talk. It's a really chill environment.
Yeah, it's great.
And just because we can all talk to each other so easily, it kind of just made sense
Mm-hmm.
for us all to be here talking together right now for this podcast.
Yeah. Yep.
So to give you guys a little bit more about the things we want to talk about, the reasons for this podcast, like I said, this idea came about by my buddy who had an idea to create a podcast just talking about social dating. So things like Bumble or Tinder or Grindr or what's the new one? Hinge?
Hinge.
Is that what?
I mean, and before smartphones, it's all those ones that were just on the internet, eHarmony, Christian Mingle.
You talking about some farmersonly.com right
Farmers
there?
Only.
Have you ever
know?
made one of those fake accounts?
No, I've never. I really have never. No, I've not. It's crazy.
I've debated Farmers Only. I kind of want to see what that's about.
What is that about? No, and isn't there another one that's only for lumberjack lovers? It's like a
What?
yeah. What's that one called? Do you know what the?
I have not a clue, but
I know it
I have
exists.
heard this.
I think you guys are lying. I'm gonna be
No,
honest.
no, it's for women who like men who look like a lumberjack, got the beard and the flannel shirt.
So I know we got no video going right now, but ladies at home, that is not me. So if you're searching on Lumberjacks Only or whatever it's called,
Maybe it is lumberjack.
I would be your swipe left.
Incoming request: pictures of Curtis and flannel.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So, another big shout out I kind of want to give because I didn't really feel like pulling the trigger on this podcast until a friend of mine introduced me to a podcast she thought I would enjoy called Call Her Daddy, which is these two women, Alexandra Cooper and Sophia Franklin, who I don't know if they were already with Barstool Sports or got picked up by Barstool Sports. And they kind of just talk about their dating lives. And I think that's super cool and all. I actually love their podcast. I'm about halfway through it right now. They have 35, 36 episodes right now. Out right now. I don't know. Something like that. They got a good amount.
Yeah.
But I want to do the same thing, but bring other people's stories in.
Yeah.
Because we all have those crazy stories that they're talking about on their podcast. Everyone on this planet who's
of
ever
course.
dated someone has a crazy story like this.
I agree. Everyone who's ever, tried to, go out there, put themselves out there in that situation, like, there's no way you don't have something hilarious and maybe embarrassing, but, I mean, if we all share our embarrassments, we can all
I
rejoice
heard-
in it together, and it's
I heard
something we
me
can...
tell you about, or I heard you tell me about your story, and
Oh.
it's definitely kind of embarrassing.
No. Yeah.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I know. My one big bad story. It'll be fun when we get there.
But that's kind of like the whole point of what I want to do is I want, my friends, my family, even strangers I've never met before who might be listening to this, to sort of feel inspired to tell us their stories just for the sake of entertainment.
Yeah.
Because the thing is like when I have these crazy stories, I tell my friends.
Yeah.
And I think it's really funny. My friends think it's really funny. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they've been lying to me this whole time. I don't know.
I mean, who knows? But also, it's like, don't take everything so seriously either. I mean, sometimes like shitty stuff happens, but if we can look at it in a comedic light, it can bring us like relief ourselves. So I think there's like something to that as well. Like, we can always look back and laugh, and that's like what's great about memory and having embarrassing stories and being able to like go back with your friends or even strangers and just kind of like share that.
Olivia really hitting us with the real talk right there.
What can I say?
And the main like mission essentially we have is just to have fun. I really want people to just kind of talk to us.
Yeah.
Just really enjoy the time they spend listening to us and enjoy the time they may have just telling their story.
Yeah.
Or even knowing that their story is out there.
Right.
And that's another thing I kind of want to get into is what we are about as the Right Swipe community here.
Yes.
And the most important one that is kind of a concern to a lot of people when they tell, a random stranger these kind of stories is we care about keeping everyone anonymous. We'll never name drop you unless you straight up say like, "Oh yeah, drop my name." Like I
Right.
don't care.
Yeah,
And
we'll
even
never-
then there's
yeah.
going to be some papers involved.
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
Last thing I need is a
Paperwork.
lawsuit.
Yeah.
Here's a fun little story. We actually had a different name for this podcast at one point
Yeah.
until I contacted a company whose name was involved with that and said, "Hey, can we use your company's name for this podcast?" And they said, "No, you'll face a lawsuit."
Oh yeah. No, we had to.
So
Well.
that's why we're now the Right Swipe.
I like the Right Swipe. I think it's perfect for
I
us.
do
and I
too.
think
Is there
it's-
any dating app where you swipe left for a yes and not right?
Not that I know of.
Josh, do you know of any?
No, I think it's pretty unanimous that you have to swipe right now,
Yeah.
and I think it's just because it's a user interface, right? So being the same across the board, anyone can pick it up and know which way to swipe. Up is a super like, or
Yeah.
I really like this person, right's a yes, and left is fuck out of here.
Is there a super left? I don't know.
I don't think there is.
Anyways,
Probably
but
better.
You know, that's a good thing. Maybe there should be a super left swipe.
Super
like,
left
I
swipe?
never want to see this person pop up on my profile ever again. Because how many times when you're swiping,
No, I agree,
you
I
swipe
agree.
left,
Mhm.
and then you see the same person
No,
like
yeah.
a week later, or maybe a month later.
or you
and-
see your
And
ex.
it's like, no, I don't
or
want.
you see your ex,
Your
or
ex,
someone
yeah.
you never want to talk to.
And yeah, no, I agree. I just, as long as the person who's getting super left swiped doesn't have to know about it, because I think that could be very hurtful.
I mean, shit, you never know when someone left swipes you already.
Exactly. So as long as it's not like special, it's just it's just within like the person who does the swiping, because
See, once again, anonymous. We made
Yeah.
it full circle. This is all about keeping people anonymous. And
no one is ever gonna get
that's the other thing is not just would you be anonymous, but the people who are involved. Like, for example, if you use the real names just to tell me the story or
Right.
anyone the story,
We'll change them.
yeah, the names are going to be changed daily. I already have the names ready to be changed for what I'm going to say for my stories. And it's just really about keeping people's privacy intact. I'm not here to slander anyone, make fun of anyone, insult anyone. I'm just here to tell about my own crazy experiences. And I want, if for some reason a person who I might be talking about listens to this, I truly do want them to know that I'm telling this because I thought it was very strange for me, and that I want you to know that I am keeping your integrity, your privacy in check.
Yeah.
And I want everyone who might tell a story to know that.
Yeah, it's not about, there's no negativity here. It's all just about having fun and, sharing these stories, because how else are we going to do this with people we would never meet besides this kind of platform? So I think it's kind of special that way. As long as we keep our intentions pure.
The reality of this whole situation is fans are gonna make memes
Yeah.
of whatever name we've placed in hold of the story, like Jane. There's gonna be Jane memes,
Yeah.
and people are gonna use those to relate to real life situations.
Yeah.
You're gonna go through your Facebook feed or some other social whatever fuck you use, and there's Jane memes like that. Fucking Jane.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about people telling stories too, because I've actually gone back onto all of my social dating apps, and I've messaged everyone with no shame, saying like, "Hey, I'm about to start this podcast,
Yeah.
and it's going to be about telling crazy stories from dating or online dating, or hookups or breakups or something of that sort. And if you have something, please tell me." And the amount of replies I got were insane.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
People were sharing like Apple Notes with me of like
Oh, my God.
every crazy message a guy has sent them.
Oh, my God. That'll have to be like.
Fortunately, I wasn't on any of
Series.
them, mind you.
Well, that's surprising, Curtis. Wow.
What?
I mean, you're king of like the good pickup line.
Well,
So, do any of you follow any models like on Facebook or Instagram?
Yes.
Or
I've dated
have,
a couple.
Have you seen them post any like videos going through like, here's what's in my DMs? Like, listen to this
no.
crazy
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
I
no.
have. Like, I feel real bad for all the models out there, and more specifically women just on social media apps,
Yeah.
because they deal with the same shit.
Right.
But just how
Insta
harsh
models.
people go after someone when they don't get a reply.
Oh,
So,
God. Yeah.
You are all the negative things.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It is really, yeah.
So, date of recording this is March 23rd, 2019, and actually not too long ago on Snapchat, this has become like a really popular trend that you could ask someone an anonymous question.
Oh.
What's it called? Something YOLO? I forget what it is.
There's a couple. I mean, there used to be one like I feel like 10 years ago on
Yeah, but-
Facebook, but now they
Well,
like
there's
redid
there's
it.
been several anonymity apps.
Yeah.
But what he's talking about specifically is an app that ties into Snapchat.
Oh, into
Yeah,
Snapchat
it's
itself.
connected directly to Snapchat, I
Oh.
think. I'm not sure. I don't really know how it works, but essentially you can ask someone or just tell someone whatever the hell you want and you're anonymous.
Oh my God.
And I do follow a couple.
Hey girl, I like you. Show me your asshole.
And some people just say like, "I'll pay you $100 for you to suck my dick,"
Oh my God.
and I'm like shooketh.
He's like, oh, $100. Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Where should
let's
I
try.
meet you?
Let's try the other end of that spectrum here. But no, I've seen like what guys say to these girls when they get the chance to be anonymous.
I'm telling you, there's something about just the internet in itself that makes people bolder. I know we've all seen it on Facebook, but especially in these dating situations, like these dating apps, like guys, like, I mean, I was just talking to a friend who was telling me that their friend just was so graphic about giving up, like, do you want to see this dick? Like, you want to see this big honking
So I want to touch on that
thing,
exactly.
you know, and like,
Because-
yeah.
You want to touch
Can
on the
we-
dick or?
Yes, I want for $100. So no, if you go back years ago on the internet and you look at any anonymity forum boards like 4chan or I don't know, just some other ones where you were anonymous, and you just get to see the cruelness of people coming out,
Yeah.
and just this crazy savage innate hate come
Yeah.
out of people.
Yeah.
And it's because people were anonymous, they weren't tied to anything.
Yeah.
But now with these social dating apps, I think the same thing applies even though you're not anonymous, because people just assume like, oh, there's like tens of thousands of people in my area.
Right.
I'm not going to see this fucking person ever again.
Yeah, like
so it's the same as being anonymous, right?
Yeah.
Except when you go to the bar and you're like, holy shit, it's that person I said,
Like that real
can you
fucked
suck
up.
my dick for $100?
No, yeah, I completely agree. It's crazy. It's crazy because we think that the world is so big, but it's almost always super fucking small. And
the
it like,
amount of times I just accidentally run into people that I swiped left with on dating apps
Oh my God, Chris.
in public is higher than I care to have happen to me for
Yeah.
the rest of my life. But the anonymous thing does kind of work. It's a double-edged knife, you know? So yes, people are kind of nastier when they get to be anonymous, but on the same side with kind of what we're doing, people also feel more like comfortable.
yeah, they can be more
Well,
honest.
there's this end game to it. You could be sexually gross to someone, and it's either they're never going to talk to me again, and it doesn't fucking matter because there's 10 million people in my area,
Yeah.
or there's this chance of reciprocation. And
Right.
you're like, fuck yeah.
Right. It's
'Cause
like the all or
realistically,
nothing. It's the all or nothing
The
mentality.
thing I think about is I don't think people just blindly do that when it never works. It has to work one time because then that's the tool for them to continue to use that.
Yes, it's like I don't know if anybody here watches How I Met Your Mother, or wait, was it that show? Yeah, The Naked Man, where it was like that guy who he would go on a date with women and he called it The Naked Man, and then he would get back to their apartment to like go to the bathroom or something, and then or like, have a drink, and then like they would go somewhere and they would come back and he would be just butt ass naked, and he said it works like 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3 times. That women will just be like, well, it's kind of hilarious. And then other times women are just like, fuck you, like, get the fuck out of my place.
I've never seen How I Met Your Mother, so that is the strangest thing I've ever heard in my life.
No, but
I've only seen a few episodes, so I don't know that.
yeah.
But it reminds me of a great, fucked up, weird situation that one of my good friends used to do in his teenage years.
Uh-oh.
When he'd go on a date with a girl and they'd
Yeah.
go back to the Netflix and chill before that was a thing.
Yeah.
And he told me that if he wanted to fuck the girl and they'd be watching something, he would just pull his dick out.
What?
And his response when I gasped was like, what the fuck? He's like, well, I mean, it's just 2 of us and my dick's out, so it'd be awkward for her to not blow me, right? She either blows me or she leaves and I jerk off and have a good time anyway.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God.
That's
That's a
strange line of thought.
And it works?
I guess.
It has worked for him.
Okay, we don't have any percentages on that. So
Yeah,
we're
I don't know his numbers, and I'm
Yeah.
sure. And this was his teenage years. I'm sure he's, he doesn't do that anymore. He's
Yeah.
much older.
Yeah.
we're actually going to touch on this on a minute because I do want to keep talking about like things that we are about, and we kind of already touched on this before, which is we're just really here to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
Totally.
shit. Right now, all 3 of us are drinking while recording this.
It's a podcast. You get drunk and
Yeah.
you talk some shit.
We're trying out.
What was it? Elon Musk smoked weed on Joe Rogan's podcast?
He took one hit.
Joe
Oh,
Rogan
okay.
is always high.
Yeah, but
But-
the Joe Rogan Experience is
Yeah.
one of the kings of podcasts
No,
out
of
there.
course.
And
We are
No.
definitely not there.
No.
we are in the opposite direction, 100% 180.
We're
just-
we're doing our best, though. We're trying. We're starting. But what we are drinking today, I'll let you guys know. Maybe we'll get
there
a
will be drinks
sponsor.
every podcast.
Yeah, but this time I bought the, what was it, like a 12-pack of Henry's hard sparkling water.
This is our pilot episode. We're not looking for that sponsorship plug-in yet. But hey, Henry's.
Hey, Henry,
social
hit us
apps,
up.
Yeah,
or
it's-
social apps that super left dislike. Hit us
Oh,
up.
Yeah, right. No, yeah, but anyway.
So, we with like what we're about, there's also things we're not about. And the main thing for me is slandering. I'm definitely not here
No.
and I won't even talk about any sort of story where there is where the person telling me the story is being racist or sexist, gender, they're hating on people's genders or they're hating on people's sexual orientations. That's 100% not allowed. Now, granted, if the person you are referring to did that to you and you want to tell that story of them being crazy to you on that, that's fine. But if you were blatantly being like that to someone, I'm not even gonna touch that.
Yeah.
I won't bring it up.
No, we're not into humiliation. Any type of negativity or hatred is not here. This is for fun only, entertainment. We're literally, it's all positivity here. Like, you know, we're just trying to like share some funny shit that's happened.
And this is
Weird ass shit that happened.
yeah.
There's some weird.
And this is where I kind of want to touch on, Josh, what you were saying earlier with your friend who just whipped out his dick. We are not here to give advice.
No, yeah, we're not. No.
That entire story right there.
Look, if you now just whip your dick out with zero pre-discussion of having sex at that moment or any sexual activity, I hope you get some type of sexual predator charge. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's weird as
that's
fuck.
fucked.
That's assault.
Yeah, it's pretty much sexual.
Maybe
assault.
1%
Maybe
of less than
harassment.
1% of women may be into that, but I don't know any that would
Not
be.
enough. Like a first. Yeah. No.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're definitely not here to give advice. We do not recommend you follow the things we have done. We just want
No.
you to have fun listening to either our mistakes or the mistakes other people made on us.
Right.
We're not going to tell you how to like update your social dating app profiles or how to what your pickup lines should be,
Yeah.
what's working, what's
No,
not.
we're not a how-to. We're like
We're this is what happened.
this is this, and this is hilarious.
It's a weird world, and social apps have made it weirder.
So weird. Technology itself has just fucked our whole life.
It's actually a two-pronged sword because
Yeah.
yes, it's made it
You've used
weird.
that phrase differently twice. Double-edged sword.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Sorry, this
It's all right.
Drinking.
Keep going. I want to see how many more you get.
shut up.
Two-pronged
Double-edged.
spear. No.
$100, two-pronged dick.
Wow. I don't.
It's two dicks, so we'll make it $200.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. But God, look what you did to me. I'm all flustered, all sorts of flustered. But one of the things is like we don't want to let you guys think that like we are the example or an example
Oh, never.
at all. Most of the stories that I'm going to tell of my own experiences are just strange things that I think have happened to me. And although social dating has made things kind of weird, I've also had some very good experiences and met some quality people for the rest of my life.
No, I agree. I mean, honestly, I'll tell you guys right now. The guy I've been dating for like almost a year, we like
Shit, is it actually
Officially-
almost been a year?
we officially, yeah, we met in the summer. We officially started dating through a dating app. Like we kind of knew each other's like very, very casually, like barely knew each other, but through friends of friends of friends. But it wasn't until we like matched on a dating app that we actually like, you know, both knew that we were into it and like wanted to, you know, see what was gonna happen. And now it's like, I mean,
I didn't
it's
know you
crazy.
guys. I didn't know it's been a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like, I don't know, like 10, it was in like early, it was sometime in the summer. I can't even remember, but I'd have to look.
I think it was in the summer, like June-ish.
Yeah, it
I
was
just know,
definitely
Or
like,
wait, no.
no, it
It
was
wasn't-
later in the
it was in
summer.
the
It was
fall.
like July.
I think it was in the fall, wasn't it?
That was
thought
when
it
I
was-
actually, but like our first date was like in July, or was it, maybe it was August actually.
I think it was the fall.
Yeah. No, I think you're
Because
right.
school was in session when we talked about it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
for sure.
We're
It
talking
was
about
fall.
Soap Guy, right?
Yeah,
Soap
Okay.
guy.
yeah.
We might tell that story later down
Yeah.
the line.
I mean, yeah, well, I feel like we have to eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah, we'll keep
But-
that one.
Yeah, I
Anticipation.
mean, I dated actually the first person I ever matched with on Tinder, specifically.
Yeah.
We dated for 2.5 years.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
like actual boyfriend girlfriend relationship for 2.5 years.
that
we
was
were
before
together.
Catskiller, then, right?
No, that was
That
the
was
beginning of Catskiller.
actually yeah, it was
It was-
before Gatskeller because it's actually because of her I got my job at
yeah,
Gatskeller.
Veronica.
Yeah,
Veronica. Yeah.
yeah. So it was really interesting. I don't know. It was a great relationship. Learned a lot in it. It ended, and We're civil. We're cool.
That's good.
And I don't know. There's been a lot of good to come from social dating. And also, to go on to the point here with what just happened, Josh did change the name. So if you think that the first girlfriend, or I guess she was my second girlfriend I had, was named Veronica, you are.
Wait, that was your second girlfriend?
I dated a girl in high school for like 2.5 years too.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
But she was the first. Veronica was the first one I dated in college. That was the first girl I dated in college.
Gotcha.
And we did meet on specifically Tinder. And I have Tinder to thank for that, honestly.
Yeah.
That was a great relationship. I loved it.
Yeah.
So
Great.
I think it's time we get into the fun part of the podcast.
Oh, the stories are we gonna start?
Yeah.
The meaty bits.
Oh
The
my
meaty
goodness.
bits.
And I have been so ready to tell this story for quite some time.
Oh my gosh.
I'm definitely starting on full throttle here because this is, in my opinion, the absolute wildest story I've had from social dating.
Oh my god, I hope my story compares, but whatever.
So
No worries.
This-
All stories are great.
yeah,
Exactly. All stories are great. One more thing to tell our listeners is that even if you think your story isn't that funny, maybe it is funny because sometimes I think my stories aren't that funny, but other people think they are.
My rule of thumb is that if you ever told your friends or your parents a story, it's worthy to tell on this
Exactly. Yeah.
podcast.
Okay. I agree. If it's
And-
worth telling, it's worth telling no matter what.
I know I've told this story a lot, and this is the Janet Karen story. And once again, for everyone to know, all names are changed and all locations are changed for every single story we will ever tell. So, the Janet Karen story. And it starts off, we met on social dating. And it was cheesy pickup line number 1 into just random talking. She asked where I work. She asked what I do. Same questions back and forth. It was just really normal, basic conversation, sort of like what anyone who gets on those social dating apps, Bumble, Hinge, Tinder. I can't speak for Farmers Only, but maybe it's the same with that too. And we were just talking, having a good time, and we ended up meeting each other for drinks one day. And this was, we met in northern Kentucky. I don't remember where in northern Kentucky, but I know it was somewhere around there because I had to drive a far, far way away.
Oh yeah, because you're not
To
even,
get there.
Yeah. Got you. He commutes.
Yeah, I commute quite a ways to get to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Anyways, we hit it off so well. We were talking, and I remember her telling me that she had a kid. But she was also a full-time student, which is super cool. I actually found that
That's
really
very,
admirable,
commendable, yeah, for sure.
that you can balance your time to be a full-time student and be a parent successfully. And I'm not gonna lie, that made me like a little bit more attracted to her when we were talking.
True.
So we started drinking a lot more.
Uh-oh.
There were tequila shots somewhere in there,
Oh.
and shots plural. I don't know how many, because boys count, but men drink. And at one point, she was leaning up on me, I was leaning up on her, and she just said, "Hey, you should come back to my place."
Oh, there she goes. She made the move.
Yeah, she was actually the first one who made the move.
Yeah.
Which I also
had you like kissed or anything yet? Just been
we
like
were
flirty?
holding each other, and we
Okay.
were like I said, we were like leaning up on each other.
Got you.
Like
So you were getting physical, but it hadn't like gotten
we started
there yet.
dancing a little bit, but it was nothing like.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah, we weren't just like making out on the dance floor or anything like that. We
Gotcha.
weren't like
Wasn't that
that
kinda
sloppy yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I obviously am just like, yeah, sure, let's do this. If you're down, I'm down. We go back to her place, and God, we could have honestly kept going until the sun rose, kind of thing.
Oh my god.
And we, I woke up, and this was actually one of the first hookups I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah. and I felt dirty. Like I'm talking Christina Aguilera
Oh my
dirty.
god, shut up.
And I was like, hey, I feel like we really didn't get to know each other that well. We just kind of drank and
Yeah,
banged and
yeah.
called it a day.
Yeah, yeah,
So I would like to take you out to dinner sometime.
yeah.
And we went to a place called the Taco Joint, which has fucking great tacos and amazing margaritas too. Good luck finding it because, once again, names change.
True.
And when I met her the second time, because she said, yeah, that'd be great. So,
Yeah.
go out to dinner. I
Yeah,
told her
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
pay, all this stuff. Chivalry's not dead, right?
No,
And
I mean,
I said, when we met the second time, I could tell she was a lot quieter, a lot more reserved, a lot more shy. And I just don't know if that's
Yeah.
because, we went back and had some nasty ass sex
yeah,
after meeting each other first time.
right.
But I tried to get her talking by saying, tell me your most embarrassing drinking story.
Yeah.
And she starts telling the story about how she was at a bar in Clifton, actually.
Oh,
One of the
ground.
nastier bars, I would say. And she was dancing on top of the bar table with a bunch of other women and getting down dirty and all that stuff. And her friend tried to pull her off, and she just punches her friend straight in the face, square ass in the
my
nose,
God.
punched her.
Punch her?
Yeah, you women can be savage. First
I
off,
wouldn't. If I ever punched my friend, oh my god, she would cry and murder me with.
if it's the friend you're talking
Feelings.
about, she will kill you. If it's the friend I think you're talking about.
Yeah.
Alcohol's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, no, it really is. And apparently, once she got off the bar, she threw up on the floor. So, yeah, it was pretty bad. And then her friend carried her out, and they got
Oh, God.
Domino's, and she ate this whole damn pizza by herself.
Oh my god, a whole.
I didn't change the name of the pizza place. Oh well, Domino's
it's
is popular.
Domino's. It's like the whole.
It's fucking Domino's. They're everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
really
true.
don't think you need to worry about the Domino's, Kurt.
So, and
That was
in my head, I'm kind of thinking I feel like I've heard this story 1,000 different times just from random women. Just that seems to be the kind of thing is you get down and dirty on the bar and then you hit your friend or you yell at your friend or you're screaming or fighting or
And then you have to
crying.
leave and eat pizza.
Yeah, and then you gotta leave and then everyone's buddy again.
Yeah, gotcha. It's
So,
drunk white girls.
but the important part of
Generally.
this is what came after.
Okay.
What she said, but that wasn't me, that was Karen. And I go, who's Karen? Because, this is Janet that I'm talking to, not Karen.
Wait. Start over. I'm confused. So this is the night she was out. She got fucked up. She fell or she punched her
Here-
friend. She left. Got Domino's. Then she's talking to you.
Yeah, and keep in mind, she just told this whole entire story about her, and she then says, but that was Karen. I'm like, why'd you just tell me a story about someone named Karen?
Oh, gotcha.
And she's like, oh, Karen is my daughter's mom. And I was like, I didn't know your daughter was adopted.
wait, but didn't
We're getting to this. This is very confusing, but
I
it's
know.
about to all come full circle.
I know, but I'm just saying. Okay, so just to clarify for our listeners too, because I know this was kind of hard for me to understand at first too. So you go on a date with this girl Janet, and you ask her what. This is your second date. You ask her what's a really embarrassing story about her. She tells this whole story,
And then says it was
and then
Helen.
says, "Actually, this was Helen."
Yeah. So after I say I thought,
Yeah.
I didn't know you adopted your daughter. She says, oh, Helen is me when I get, or no, not Helen. What was?
I think it was Karen.
I used Karen.
Yeah. No, so she said, "No, it's Karen," and then you're like, "Who's Karen?" And she says, "The mother of my daughter."
Yeah. So
Confusing.
Karen here is apparently this woman's alter ego when she's drunk, which I've heard people say that before. I've heard people say, "Oh, this is Patricia,"
I've heard the same.
Yeah.
I actually Patricia seems to be the common one I hear.
Really? I've never
Was
heard
that
that one.
used in? Was that Split? The one with James McAvoy.
Ooh, I don't remember.
Did he use Patricia as a name? I feel like that's how it became
Maybe,
popular.
Maybe I don't remember.
It's
But
either
yeah, he
Patricia or
used-
Helen because I've heard both a lot. Either way, we're Karen here.
Yeah, we used Karen, so no copyright.
Well, then she says, Karen is this inner spirit inside of me that when my willpower is weakened, takes over my body, where myself as Janet can only watch in the passiveness of my brain.
Which is a sophisticated way to say she's wasted.
So basically, she just has a drunk alter ego, but she like has spiritualized it into a way that it's
Firmly believes
her
that
second
alter ego is
personality.
there.
Yeah.
So it's like a split personality.
It's like a split
that only
personality.
happens when she steps over the boundary of some influence.
Some influence or some desire.
And I honestly thought she was making it up, but as Janet was talking more and more about it, and what kept resonating in my head was like, she tells her daughter that Karen is her mother. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
It definitely scared the hell out of me, and I even told her that I wasn't really comfortable with doing a date after that one, which was a bold move on my part, but I was kind of shaking at the boots.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot to take in. I mean, I don't blame you, and I'm glad that you at least told her up front that you weren't going to go on another date with her instead of saying like, yeah, I'll call you and then never call her. Like, that's a lot better, I think, and I think that's really awesome of you in general.
And the thing she asked after that was like, oh, why? And I said, I was really cool with Janet. I wasn't really cool with Karen. And Deadass looks me in the eyes and says, oh, it's okay. I understand. I get that a lot. Like, Karen can definitely scare people away.
Wow.
So I take one of two things from this. Either A, she firmly believes what she says, which
Yeah.
maybe she's true. I don't know enough about the human brain to know if a second personality lives inside of you as a spirit that is demonic.
Or maybe her reasoning is a little fucked, but split personality is a real thing.
It's a real
I know
thing,
split
but,
personality
like,
is a real thing.
maybe it's like she can only like let that happen when she's drunk, or has some like guard down, so that like to let it in. I
And-
mean, you have
but the
no
thing
idea.
was,
We don't know.
I
yet.
asked her if she had split personality, and she said no. This is just a spirit that lives inside of me. Which maybe that's part of
But
split
maybe
personality
that's just what
too.
she. Yeah. Who knows? Like what
Could
she's
also
thinking.
be her form of acceptance for it,
Yeah.
Maybe she does things she doesn't like when she's under the influence of something, and so she constitutes
Passes
it to
the
that
blame,
This
kind
is
of.
Something
other
else.
being or some other entity that controls me.
Or
Yeah.
option number two, maybe she just didn't like me and just came up with the wildest story
Well-
possible to get me to never talk to her again.
Oh my god.
This is where I'm a fan of just being blunt. If you just don't like the person, you just tell them.
No,
Which
no,
I
this
felt like that's what I was supposed to do, is saying like I don't want to go on another date.
No,
after
and
this.
I exactly. I think that was great.
And it was very respectful and mutual,
Yeah.
and it just ended. But man, in that second when she told me all that, I was in my boots.
Yeah, no, that's definitely shocking. You don't ever like expect to hear that. Ever. Like I don't know when you would ever expect.
So what do you guys think? Do you think I made the right move?
I definitely think you made the right move for like how you felt about it. I mean, it would have been interesting to like see what would have happened if you like kept talking to her and like kind of investigated a little bit more. But at
I'm
the
good.
same time, yeah, if you weren't feeling it, then I think you did perfectly what you should have, which was just tell her that you weren't into it and then, be whatever about it.
Anything serious, I would say, would take a lot of thought.
Mm-hmm.
But Karen could be a freak.
Well, apparently,
Exactly. She could
apparently
be
it
too.
is
That could be
confirmed.
some fun fucks.
I did not sleep with Janet. I slept with Karen.
Wait, you slept with Karen?
From what I was told.
But I
that-
thought Janet was the drunk one.
And guess who comes out when her willpower is weakened through alcohol? Yeah,
Karen.
Karen.
She's out there.
Huh.
That like all messed with me, and I was just not ready for all of that at once.
Yeah, no, that's a lot to handle. I mean, especially like after you've already, like had sex. It would have started like really heavy. If you had like, not like fucked the first night and maybe you like just like talked to her for a while and then like she told you before you had fucked her and like that could have been a different story, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, I totally see your side of this cuz that's more than you could ever prepare for.
So the other big story I have, and like some people would be okay with this story, but to give a little bit of a background, my mother is a lawyer, and I tried to stay out of the illegal limelight as much as possible. I don't really do any drugs of any sort. I don't smoke weed. I don't do any hard drugs. Try and kind of keep a straight and narrow path for me. I don't really care to adventure out like that. I feel like I don't need it.
Yeah.
But I was out at a bar I really enjoy going to here in Cincinnati, and I was outside and I saw this girl just kind of by herself, and I started talking to her. And it was a good conversation. I said, hey, can we go inside? Can I buy you a drink? And do you want to go dance or something? She's like, yeah, sure, but do you mind if we meet up with my friends? I was like, that's fine. I don't know who your friends are, but I feel like I'm pretty good at being in a social setting that I can adapt myself to any sort of situation like that.
Yeah.
And we met up with their friends, and they were all super cool. They were awesome to talk to, and they were super energetic, and they were super nice. It wasn't weird that I just started talking to her, anything like that. And once again, we get super, super wasted, and we end up getting an Uber to their place about 15, 20 minutes away from Cincinnati. We get out of the Uber, everything, and there were probably about 5, including the girl I was talking to, 5 other people.
Okay.
And they go into this house, and it felt like kind of a frat house kind of thing, but it wasn't. It was just like a bunch of people living together.
Oh, okay.
And the second we walk into the door, not 1, not 2, but multiple bags of cocaine came out of their pockets.
Oh.
Meaning they had this on them while they were at the bars.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like one person was carrying all of it. They all had stuff on them.
Yeah.
And I just kind of look in. I see them like take it out of the bags and put it on the table. I turned around and walked straight out.
Yeah, no.
I was like, I'm not trying to do any of this today or right now.
Yeah.
And the thing that shocked me about all of that is how bold they were to just like
I guess,
have multiple bags of coke on them.
They just thought.
Like
I have no idea. Yeah.
I don't know how much money and blow they had at that bar, but it was definitely more than I spent on alcohol, and I feel like I dropped a fair amount of money that day.
That's crazy.
So,
Oh my god. Yeah.
and I know some people would be like okay to that or into that. I'm just saying that's not me.
Yeah.
But
And it's good that
and
you're
it-
true to yourself about that.
well, it was weird too, just
Yeah.
because like they
And they never like said anything about it. They just kind of like just brought it all out.
didn't say we're gonna
Yeah.
go back and
Yeah, like
do
they didn't
hard
even,
drugs.
They didn't
were
say
just,
anything. Like, yeah, that's kind of weird. You'd think that they would like at least.
And honestly, like I would give a name if I could, but I don't even remember this person's name because we never did anything. We never talked again, just outside that one time at the bar. I don't even think I ever.
How
got
did
her
you get
number.
home? Did you like go back and get?
I
another-
ordered an Uber.
Yeah, you just.
I
ordered.
waited outside and ordered an Uber there. Luckily, there was one like a minute away
Yeah.
because we were in a bit more popular section of
Yeah.
where this person lived.
Yeah.
But
Oh
fuck,
my
man,
God,
that
that's
was
crazy.
it. I did not. It was kind of like that little meme of the guy from The Simpsons sitting on the bus who's just like, huh, I'm in danger.
Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph. That's his name. That's his name.
Oh my
God, it's been forever since I've seen The Simpsons.
Yeah. I like Futurama better personally, but that's just my own problem.
So,
Love it.
Olivia, do you have any stories you want to share with us on day
Yeah,
one of the pilot?
Yeah, okay, I have one pretty crazy story. And it's kind of, so it's like a multifaceted story, I'd say.
What?
It was a few years ago. It was when me and my best friend, we went to Spain, okay? And
Oh
this was-
shit! So we're talking like
Yeah.
this isn't something that happened in the U.S. of A.
No, it's not even national. This is
Oh, God. Well,
international.
Okay, this is gonna be
Tinder.
good because
Okay.
men from Spain are quite attractive.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to see like something happen.
Okay,
from
listen to this. So my best friend Pam, okay, she got the international Tinder where you have to pay a little bit extra, but you can go anywhere you want.
So it's just a social dating.
It's Tinder. It's social dating app. It's the same as Tinder, but you can You pay like a subscription, and you can like swipe with anybody
What?
in the whole world.
I have never heard of this.
Yeah, but it costs money, so it's not like it's exclusive. You know, it's not
Okay.
something that you can do in regular Tinder. But so Pam got this, and she started swiping with people in Spain because we were going to be going there that summer. And she ended up swiping with this one guy, swiping right, of course,
Ooh.
with this one super, super attractive guy. And we were both like a little like skeptical. We're like, how is he this hot? Like, this is like impossible. Like, he had perfect teeth, like this beautiful pearly white smile, you know, like a cute face. And he was like dark.
I'm just picturing
handsome,
Josh.
You know, and he had, you know, it was like this dark hair. It was like kind of like messy. Anyway, whatever. So we, Alejandro was his name. Anyway, so we get to Spain, you know, and we're doing our thing. We did like a study abroad type of situation. And one day we decided that we were going to meet up with him. And so Pam was talking to Alejandro, and she was like, I have my friend Olivia here, you know, like me, like, and she was like, do you have like a friend that you could bring along so we could all, you know, hang out? You know?
So you're essentially trying to set up like a double date scenario here.
Exactly. So Pam, like,
Okay.
Pam was talking to this super hot guy, and so we were like, yeah. And I was like, I mean, I want you to go on this date, but like, if we could do it together, you know, then that would be better because we're both in like a new country, and you know, I don't want you to go alone, and maybe we could just do like a double date kind of situation.
It's kind of like another, how am I going to word this time? Two-edged sword? Because you don't want to be left alone in a country
Yeah.
that you've never really been in before.
I know.
And
I
you
would
don't
just
want
like
your
stay.
friends.
I would like stay at home, but at the same time, I don't want her out there by herself in case of any. You know, what could happen? You never
And if
know.
he doesn't bring a friend, then you're kind of just third wheeling.
Oh yeah, and that's
internationally.
super awkward. Yeah, you don't want to be the third wheel because I don't want to just be like sitting there while they like hit it off. But I don't want to leave her anyway. So we have this whole plan, and he's bringing his friend Pedro. So we've got Alejandro and Pedro meeting us the next day. I forgot, it was like a weekend, at noon at the square in this like plaza. Okay, and
This is like movie written kind of.
no,
You meet these hot men at a plaza.
well, okay, we haven't
Next
met
thing you
them
know,
in
they're
real life
robbing a
yet.
casino.
We haven't met them in real life yet. Anyway, so that night, I think this was like a Friday night.
And you're meeting them on the Saturday.
The Saturday.
Okay.
So this Friday night, I don't know what we were thinking, but we got super fucking wasted. We got so drunk. I think it was like one of the first nights we found the fun bars, and it was so, we just got so hammered because they have these drinks there where it's like one big, it's like a double solo cup size, and they just like, I mean, it's like a Long Island, but it's not a Long Island. Like, it's called like something else. It's like a vampire or like a vampiro or like, you know, these crazy things, and it's like a deal, and you get fucked. So we were super fucked up that night. Woke up the next day at like 11, and we were supposed to meet these guys at noon, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay, and we wake up and we're so hungover. And so we were doing this like study abroad. So we're like in a little dorm room where it's like just us two in like a room smaller, you know, like, oops, like as big as like how far apart we all are right now, which is like probably like a 5x8.
Imagine
But-
a college dorm. That's about what our recording studio is right now.
Yeah. But anyway, we wake up and we're so hungover, and we're just like, oh my God, we're going to die. Like, this is so horrible. Like, and then we have to meet these guys, and we have to like get ready and like get our shit together, and it's summer, so it's like hot, and so you have to like look cute and like get your makeup and make sure it's not going to like, you know, sweat off and
Spain's a
la-di-la.
hot place too.
Yeah, it was super hot. And so finally we're like starting to get ready, and then we like start, I don't know if it was because we were hungover or like tired or like maybe not into the situation, but like we both started to literally convince each other that these guys must be serial killers.
Wait, you didn't know this for a fact?
No, we were just like, there's no way that this hot ass dude that she's been talking to is real. He must be a killer, and he's like luring us with like Alejandro isn't real and Pedro isn't real, and they're just like gonna fucking swipe us at the plaza, and we're gonna go into a dungeon and die. Like, that was, we were in that mindset. We were so sure. We were like,
Just-
there cannot be a way.
In less than an hour, you drew that conclusion.
Yes. Anyway, we finally were like, we're going to go. We're going to try. We're going to check it out. And we're going to see if it seems safe or not. All right?
Spoiler alert, Olivia does not get kidnapped or dies.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, because I'm here still. Anyway, I think we were just in a state. But we get to the plaza. And so this plaza is... it's a square, and it's inside, like on the outside perimeter, there's like a ton of shops and stuff, and it's kind of covered. And then the inside there's a fountain, and it's all open in the middle.
This sounds like super cute. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Spain's fucking beautiful, you know? It's like a gorgeous place. But so anyway, we start walking around the plaza in the outside area under the covering by the shops, okay? And we're walking around and we're trying to like spot the dudes and make sure they're not like skep and that like they didn't lie to us about their intentions or, you know, whatever, everything to do with them. Because we were like, what if it's just like some crazy person? Like, I don't know. We were just, I think we were just in a frenzy. We walked around that fucking plaza like 3 times before we finally walked up to these dudes.
See, I know girls doing like a lap around once to like check them out and see like if it's worth their time kind of thing. 3 times?
No, we were worried for a lot. Like we had just hyped each other up so much, like for no reason.
So
like,
you just got into each other's heads.
Yes, we just like really hyped it up. Like there was no reason for this to happen, but we were so, like we were like, how could this be? Like how? Like is this real? You know, like whatever.
Trying
Finally,
to find a kidnap van.
Yeah. Like
Where
where could
did
it
you lie?
be?
What's in there?
Yeah, like honestly, it was. We were terrified.
Maybe it's down this street.
Finally, after like the 3rd lap, we're like, okay, we need to just go up and talk to them and like see, and like if they're actually normal, then I guess like it's cool. But like, you know, we have to talk to them first. But like if anything is weird, then we'll just, you know, leave and just say we have to like do something. So we go up to these guys and like we're just so dumb. Like they were super nice, super normal. The guy that Pam had matched with, Alejandro, turns out to be this super, like, from a really rich family of,
Well, yeah, he's
like,
paying for this international Tinder or Bumble or whatever.
yeah. He was like super, he had like a family full of like medical professionals, and, you know, he was going to be like a orthodontist or like some type of dental like surgeon. Like he was like getting his degree in that, and it was just like, oh my God, like get out of here.
How
and
was
then
the friend?
Yeah, Pablo. He was really cool at first. So this is kind of like the fucked up part of the story, I think, like for real, because the first part's kind of funny and like like, you know, flippant,
Yeah,
like
just
it's not a
you
big deal.
You being dumb.
Us being stupid and just thinking like being crazy about like, or just overreacting and thinking the worst. But so Pablo he was super nice to me at first, and he they had come in from out of town and they had like their own like hotel, and so we were like hanging out with them that day, and like of course immediately we all like, they went and got us drinks. They got us like a bunch of drinks because like we were all like a little nervous, and they were like liquoring us up, I guess.
Free drinks are the best drinks.
Yeah, no, it was good. But I mean, we know that like the guy has like the one guy comes from a lot of money, you know, like you know, Alejandro. But so, and it seems like Pablo as well. Like they're dressed very, very nicely. Pablo is like he's blonde. He wasn't exactly my type, but it was like still, you know, I just wanted to be like hanging around, like having like a good time with them. But so then later that night, we like went to a bar, like got dinner, went to a bar, and I, you know, wasn't really feeling Pablo that much. Like I wasn't like trying to fuck him, and I was like, he's really fun to hang out with, and like I've had a really good time. But, you know, I think I just want to go back to, like, our dorm tonight and not, you know, go back to his
And did
hotel.
this might be TMI, but Pam?
So Pam, she was really into Alejandro. I mean, like, they really hit it off, and they were having a great time, and it was really fun. Like, we had a really fun time all together, and I was really enjoying it, but I just wasn't really feeling, like, the sexy vibe with Pablo.
Yeah.
And so I tried to be, and I was just so tired because I was still like hungover from the night before. Like I just didn't recover well. And like, so that night I tell Pablo, I'm like, I'm really sorry. Like, I had a really good time with you, and like, it's been really great hanging out, but like, I'm just gonna go home tonight, and like, la di la, like, you know, like, I hope you guys have a good night tonight. And he like acted like it was okay. He seemed a little bit bitter and like didn't say much. But then later I heard from Pam that he like talked so much shit about me and how I'm just like this tease, like slut bitch. And I was just like, that is so like, just because you didn't get it like on the first day, you know, like
I roll so hard I
there
can
is
see my
no
spine.
yeah, like it was so fucked up. And I was just like, you know what, like I can't even like feel anything about this because this dude's obviously just super entitled and just privileged and just has no idea, you know, what it means to actually, you know, have like a connection with somebody and want to have that physical connection and not just like, I just wasn't into it. Like, I wasn't trying to fuck him, and like, sorry, but like, that's still my choice. So whatever.
I just thought about this. Mom and Dad, I'm sorry you have to hear all this now.
I'm hoping that my parents just never know what a podcast is and never listen to them. I don't think they do know, honestly. I mean, they know what it is, but they don't know. They wouldn't watch it or
my
listen.
entire family knows I'm doing this, and they're ready to like see what's going on.
Yeah.
At least I hope they're ready. They might say they're ready, but I don't think they're actually ready.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Well, we'll find out, I guess, when they first hear our first episode air.
And I actually did just thought of something. I did miss one shout out. The person, Josh, you know his name. I don't, unfortunately. The guy who's giving us this room to record in. What's his name? I'm blanking.
Jack.
Yeah, Jack. I honestly just didn't know his name. He's been super cool. He pretty much just gave Josh the keys to this area and said, here you go, you can record as long as we're not doing a band practice or something of that sort.
Yeah.
He is one of my best friends. So.
Super cool of him to do it. Super thankful.
No, it's awesome. This like place is really cool, and it's really fun, and I'm
it's
really
close.
excited. Yeah, it's very close. It's easy. I think this is like the beginning of something great here.
At some point, we'll have cameras, and you can see the space we're in.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
you can
Watch
actually
us get fucked up while we talk about shit.
then you actually can see the eye roll go back into my spine when guys do this cringy, creepy stuff.
Right? Like, it's like some guys are just trash, you know, but a lot of guys aren't, and it's just
Well, if I've learned
everyone's
anything
different.
from your story, is that you're crazy.
I'm not. I mean, I didn't.
Olivia,
It
you know
didn't-
I'm kidding, and I
I
love
know,
you.
I know, but still, I was just, yeah, we were feeling crazy that day, but you know, obviously we didn't act on it. Like, it was nothing. Like, we went through with it, albeit like an hour late, maybe, or half an hour late from like when we meant to meet up with them, because we had to like stalk them for a few
Oh my goodness.
circles. But yeah, I don't know. That's my most dramatic like dating app story for sure.
Well, I definitely do know that I'm really excited for this too, because just like the stories you heard today, I personally know several people, men and women, who have given me the okay to tell me their crazy stories, and I
Yeah.
plan on, the second I get done with here, I plan on going and type them out
Yeah.
and get just like a general bullet point description of what happened together,
Yeah.
and interview them and get their story straight
Yeah.
and tell their wild stories, because
Yeah.
like we said in the beginning, everyone has had an experience like
Yeah,
this.
exactly. And I was just thinking when you were just saying that, it's like maybe some of these people don't realize how they come off to other, like to the opposite person either. You know what I mean? Like, if you got one side of the story, we could even hear from another listener who was
Yeah.
the other person and thinks, like, saw it a completely different way, because our perceptions are all so variable.
We're really only one half of a coin here,
Yeah.
and we're just telling our point of view, and we want people to tell us their point of views.
Yeah.
And the one thing I do like about keeping everything anonymous is that, like, we might actually hear two of the same stories
Yeah,
and never even know it.
exactly.
And we'll hear, it will sound crazy at both ends, but that's the fun part, is it's going to be exciting either
Yeah,
way. It's
either
going to be
way.
entertaining either way we do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things I want to do in the future is have a community outreach where we have maybe 1 or 2 community stories spoken per podcast.
Yeah.
And it would be just one of those things where the community could just email us. We'll have an email set up,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll take that story, and then we'll change the names and locations in that story, and then just read it off. And then that way, you know, we don't do a live call where someone could potentially actually troll the people they're talking about
Yeah.
or ruin someone's life. We had full control over that.
Which I got
Yeah.
a confession to make right now because I didn't tell either of you two this. But I actually have already talked to someone about having our own personal website, and where there's a part in that that's essentially going to be basically people can type out their stories privately where only I can see them. And then if I choose to make it public, I can.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk about it on the podcast. And essentially anyone that we know can type the stories. And I already have a second email address set up where anyone can email me. Anyone can tell me what they want to say. I will try and check it as frequently as possible. And by the next or maybe 2 episodes from now, I plan on having everything set up for that where we can get that out there, get everyone talking to us, try and get everyone around the nation, hell, even around the world, apparently,
Yeah, I mean, possibly.
tell us their insane, crazy, funny, lovely, terrible stories.
Yeah, right. Anything and everything in between.
So, for a pilot episode, I think this has been super fun.
I agree.
I'm really excited. I'm really optimistic for the future. And I really hope that anyone who's listening to this does feel inclined, encouraged, and just
Empowered
yeah,
to tell their story.
to talk to us, to tell
Yeah.
us their story, to feel like, you know, we're just here. If you felt like you were going to tell a friend a crazy story that happened to you, we want you to tell a crazy story that happened to us about your dating life
Mm-hmm.
or anything of that sort.
Right.
So that's going to be it for us today.
Yeah.
We really, really hope we see you guys, or you guys hear from us again next week. And once again, my name is Curtis. I'm joined by
Olivia.
and we have our producer, the nasty man himself, Josh Dean.
What's up?
And we hope to see you guys in a week.
Yes.